Okay. All right. Okay, I don't know what happened there. It just kind of like hiccuped and died. So, I don't know. Seems we're all right. We'll see how things go, thankfully. This is the new one. Yeah, sorry about that. He does live in this, yeah. Swamp internet. I don't live near any swamps now. I actually kind of live in a flat, hilly area. Well, not flat. A flat, grassy area. Sorry, Sumi. Missed the first part notification. That's okay. Part 3, hopefully not. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what happened there. Apparently the internet hiccuped really badly. So maybe nobody else was getting the ping. It was just me. I don't know. All learning happened at the local schools. Took Jack's internet. No, it's... The internet has always had some problems. I don't know what the deal is with my internet provider. They're kind of shitty. And we're thinking about moving, but I don't know if that'll ever come to pass or not. But on the bright side, I got done with that really long... Oof, man. I don't know how or why, but here we are. God damn it, don't blow up. Ugh. No, 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 no. Fuck me. Okay. Let's quickly repair that. I swear, I can't win for losing some days. Okay. All right. Now I am prepared to finish this upper part. Sorry again to everybody for the sudden end. I don't really know what occurred. I just know my internet shat itself, and that was about all I could do. There's no learning in public schools? Yes, sadly, you are correct. Just mine 5 stacks of netherite ingots. Ooh. So, like, you're referring to how troublesome it is to mine all of that, right? Yeah, I agree. It's a pain. Jesus Christ. Why does nothing just work, you know? What happened to plug in and forget? South African internet? The internet hiccuped. I don't know what to tell you. It hiccuped in a weird way that it died for literally 10 minutes. Well, no, not 10 minutes. It was probably more like 7 minutes. And then it kind of just went, okay, we're back. But see, by that time, YouTube had killed the previous streaming room that I had made. Really wish it would just stop fucking doing stuff like that. Hurricane internet? I don't know. I don't know if it's like hurricane or weather related. We did have a storm earlier this morning, but that can't be the only reason. I better be sorry. Yes, yes, master, I'm so sorry. Oh. When the stream reset at autoplay to fit MC video to scare the fuck out of you. Why do you have autoplay on? What is wrong with you? Who uses autoplay? I don't want them picking a video for me to watch next. It'll almost always be garbage. I don't trust YouTube, you know? I got the Democratic People's Republic of Korea internet. I don't know. I think it's more... I've got an internet company that has infrastructure issues they refuse to address. No idea what the deal is, really. How long does YouTube allow you to chat after a stream ends? That's a good question. 3 minutes or something? Not that long, okay. I remember when they added autoplay, I thought it was stupid. It was wrong then and it's wrong now. Yep. I agree. Living near a swamp. Pros, mending villagers. Cons, bad internet. Damn. He's got a point. You just know. You just know he's cooking something. Okay. And there we go. One guardrail up. And another guardrail to come. I would watch your hardcore series. I was drinking iced tea and nearly choked when you died early in episode 2 from a creeper. Yeah. I only had iron armor on. If memory serves. It was unfortunate, but, you know, such is life. There we go. Looks good. It's looking good. It's looking majestic, even. Okay. I still got a ways to go, but it's getting there. Before ads got all fucked up, it was fun to leave autoplay on all night and wake up to the most random video ever. Interesting. Yeah, I'm sure you would get more ads than anything else if you did that nowadays. Autoplayer for people who listen to music while they sleep or doing something. Maybe. Again, I don't trust YouTube to recommend me a video on autoplay. I've gotten so many weird and strange things that way. And it just feels weird to go from video A to video B, and the two may just not have anything to do with each other, and it feels very, like, whiplash-inducing, you know? Yeah, and then you wake up to some creepy horror video. Ooh. That could be cool. That could actually be really, really neat. Base jumping with a mace will be the new 2v2t PvP meta? I don't know, man. I don't know about that. We'll see. I'll meet you in the middle. We'll see. I don't particularly think that's going to happen, but sure. Now, apparently, and this is something I saw a video on by, of all people, Mr. Epic. The Mr. Epic. He mentioned that in 121.5, they added a sort of a knockback resistance effect to blast protection. So that the more blast protection you have, the less knockback to no knockback even, that you can potentially take. And so when I heard about this, I was like, well, that sounds really neat for us, I guess. But, like, you know, who cares, really? Because the crystal PvP meta is still... it still reigns supreme. And they mentioned how, with the lack of knockback, crystal PvP becomes more boring. And so maybe we'll see some kind of a decrease in the crystal PvP meta. I don't know. I'm still rooting for the death of the crystal PvP meta myself. We'll just have to stick around and find out, I guess. But that's 121.5, and 121.5 feels farther away than update soon feels, you know? A lot farther away. Jack, if you had right now to pick one player that's online right now to randomly find my base, I would have it be... oh my god, I can't fucking... I guess Bryce Day, because I know him. He's cool. So yeah, if one person had to randomly find my base, it would be Bryce Day, because I know him and he's nice. And I'm alright with him knowing coords and stuff. Osmobite was on earlier, and he too, I would not mind. Because he's already at the base. But I imagine that's kind of cheating. Oh, the hell did I trip on? So yeah, if I had to have somebody find me, I would rather it be a friend than a rando I don't know anything about. Selling Jacktherippa's quartz! I could see it now. What a mess. You hate Crystal PvP too. I do as well. It's one of those things that just should never have been allowed. And personally, I think they should nerf the damage that other players take from your crystals. So that you can damage and kill yourself. And crystals do, like, god-awful damage to a normal person. To a other person. So that you don't end up killing others. You only end up killing yourself by accident. If that's the angle that they're going for. Oh, god damn it. Something slid off. Hold on. No, it's still not staying. Oh well. I guess it'll have to just sort of rest there. Sorry, an important power strip slid off of its resting location. Scared me. Because, like, my monitors are plugged into that. Anyway. I don't trust Mojang to make quality updates anymore. Yeah, this certainly hasn't been another Nether update. Like, a level of quality of that. The Nether update was such an unprecedented level of quality, update-wise. And so, like, that proved it to me, in my mind, that they are capable of making that quality of an update. I may not expect that every single update, but, like, it's been years since the Nether update. Why can't they do another Nether update level quality update, you know? And now they're straying away from the updates. They're just going to do content drops. In other words, we don't want the expectations, you know, of the fan base to weigh us down. Very strange. Very, very, very strange. When planning a new base, do you prefer sketching stuff on paper? Or do you one of those people who sketched on an iPad? Back in the day, I would sketch on paper because that's all I had access to at my old job. Now, I just go with whatever's in my head, unless it's, like, really, really complicated. With this, I could just jam this out in Minecraft. I didn't need to draw a sketch or anything. Because it just worked, you know? This just works. So I designed half of it, and then I mirrored it, and then pasted it on the other half, and that's how I got this. And it turned out pretty good, I think. Happy Ghast is cool, but it's too little too late. I think the Happy Ghast is just fine. It's not bad, it's not great, it's just okay. It could be worse. I feel they're not really plugged in, you know, to what the average person is after. Mojang is probably they're running dry on ideas, I feel. And I get that there's maybe some sort of a lore or whatever with the Happy Ghast. But I'm sorry, ghasts were always supposed to just be some sort of jellyfish creature that attacks you in the Nether. There was never meant to be some sort of a deep reason for this or that. What general area do you work in, like CAD? No, I don't do any of that. I'm just very good at throwing ideas together. and figuring out how to accentuate them in such a way that it looks appealing. He was a dealer. Oh no. I have a theory they are putting all their resources into Bedrock Marketplace content for development. Yeah, probably. Sounds about right. Now we use MS Paint like real artists. Actually, you're gonna hate me for this, but I haven't opened up MS Paint since like 2022. Possibly, or later. Simply because I haven't really needed, since a lot of my stuff was not... What the hell? Why are you not burning? Shouldn't you be on fire? Well, anyway. I've gotten very good at like world edit since like 2021. And so designing a lot of things in creative mode with world edit has just become my preferred method. Because drawing stuff on paper is all well and good. Designing things block for block, pixel for pixel in MS Paint, that was a necessity given the time period. But knowing what I know now, I know of a far better way to do it. So there's just not really much of a point to doing it like that any longer. It was cool for the time because I had to do it all by hand. But if I could go back to designing Space Valk 3, I would absolutely do it in single player with creative mode and world edit, because I would know a better way to do it now. I would be way, way, way more adept at it. And then I would use Schematica, because I don't think Lightmatica had existed yet. And I would use Schematica to figure out how to, you know, merge the two, and then Baritone to help slap it all together. That kind of thing. Mobs on 2B sometimes don't burn, don't question it. Okay, sure. Krita on top. I need to probably learn a program like Krita, but I've been using GIMP for so long. I just never really like... I don't care. Like, GIMP does all that I need it to do, and I'm reasonably good at it. So I don't have to give a shit, you know? Should give Axiom a shot. I know I should, but I'm still not, like, in the mood to learn a brand new mod. Personally, I feel like Axiom and World Edit are just two ways to the same ends. Maybe Axiom is slightly better. I don't know. I would have to dedicate a lot of time. And I just don't want to do that. I would rather spend that time doing something else. GIMP is light? Yeah. As a non-schematic user, okay. All right, you can be a non-schematic user. That's up to you. But when it comes to efficiency, this is really just like the quickest way. Because at the end of the day, it's the efficiency of creating the item or the base or whatever. That wins out, in my opinion. Because you never know how much time you have left. Also, I want to like have the base done so that I can actually live in it. And say, yeah, I live in this now. This isn't just an empty shell that I've designed. It's actually a living, breathing space that's like, it's unique and it's cool and it's, you know, all of this stuff. Vertical slabs, yes, I would love that. GIMP gets the job done, but it's not perfect? No, not at all. I don't feel like there will ever be a perfect anything anymore. I used to dream of the perfect Minecraft client, like hacks and exploits wise. I used to think to myself, hey, wouldn't it be neat if I took this feature from over there and then I took that other feature from over there? And boy, wouldn't it be cool if I could get all these developers to work together? By the way, all these people hate each other. And I just was like, you know, it's not actually going to happen. And the simple truth of the matter is, there will never be a perfect, you know, grand, unified, whatever. At least not if I didn't make it myself, I guess. My vision of what a perfect, grand, unified client would even look like is probably, in and of itself, very subjective. So I don't know. Linking you Axiom vid on Discord. Never going to use it myself, but it looks useful. Okay. Sure. Can't promise I'll get time to watch it anytime soon, but yeah. If you can control the next Minecraft update, what would I add to the game? I mean, obviously I would be giving us sideways stairs and slabs. I would call it the Ends and Bends update. It would be both an end update with wild, diverse new end biomes and a bunch of new end-related content, as well as the height increase to the world. And also, it would allow stairs and slabs to go sideways. And walls. Stairs, slabs, and walls would go sideways. And it would be a right-click functionality of your pickaxe. So here's how it would work. You would place down your stair facing whatever direction. And so you would look in a direction, and you would right-click with your pickaxe, and it would hoist the stair away from you. Okay, so just imagine it sitting on its side, and it would be facing that direction. And so that's how you would get sideways stairs and slabs in-game. Instead of you having to place it, you know, delicately. Because like with a slab, you got to delicately place stuff, or else you know, you can't get it in just the right spot. Can't tell you how many times I've screwed that up. Same for stairs. You know, you can screw it up like that. Meant to put it as a top stair, not a bottom stair. You know, mistakes like that. And, yeah, just let sideways stairs, slabs, and walls be a right-click functionality of your pick. Because the axe and the shovel have right-click functionality, but nothing for the pickaxe? The God Emperor 40k would give us a unified client. That would be cool. I won't lie. If you could pause time IRL, how much time would you put into 2PGT, and what would you do at the time on the server? Oh, God. I would have to use that sparingly, because I assume it would drive me crazy if I paused time for too long. It depends. I would actually probably pause time for myself to rest and just not do anything. I would eat, bathe, sleep. You know, I would do all of that in paused time. And then I would just stay up. And from everybody else's perspective, I would just be perpetually, you know, clean and proper. And I would never eat in front of people. It would be very weird. I would never sleep, even though actually I would be sleeping because I would be doing it in paused time. I would do mundane things that take time in pause time, so that the real world, I can always be paying attention to it. Now, as for like, oh no, I'm about to be griefed, or like 15 people show up here with TNT in their hands and withers and ender crystals, I would absolutely pause time, pound out the base, world download it, and go from there. And maybe it would freak them out. I don't know. Although actually, if I could pause time and play the server and only the things I do process, then I would just trap them all in obsidian, watch them escape, trap them again, and just perpetually smother them in stuff they cannot possibly escape from, because they would never be able to get out of the obsidian long term, because then I would just pause time, Zawardo, encase them again, and then watch them try to escape. And they would just never get out. Obviously in PvP I would be invincible, Because you can't fight someone that can pause time. Unless you yourself can pause time. So yeah, it would, honestly, that would be such an OP opinion. Or power, I mean. It's only 9 minutes. What? Oh, that vid? Yeah. Maybe I will. Having a building tool like a debug stick in creative mode. Like a debug stick from creative mode would be cool for survival. Yes. We should be allowed that. We should absolutely be allowed the debug stick. Do I still age when time is paused? Probably. But it's hard to say for sure. I don't know what the exact rules of this would be. Why do you build such large buildings if they will be destroyed after some time? Well, go big or go home. You've probably heard that phrase. Well, I believe in that phrase. It's either go big or go home. That's how I've played 2B2T for years. When I was building Space Valk 2, I was like, you know, I could make this small, but I could also make this really big. When I was building Space Valk 1, I was like, you know, this is the biggest thing I've ever made on 2B2T. I kind of like it. And so I'm continually chasing the high of building something large and in charge. I guess that's like a good way to put it. Hi, how am I doing? I'm all right, Default. Now, I like the resting answer more, Jack. Resting is better for you. Yeah, exactly. The real world would just never pass me by. Because, like, you got to do stuff, right? In the real world. You got to eat, you got to sleep, you got to go to the restroom, you got to bathe, you got to go here, go there, do this, do that. And if you could just do all of that shit, and you'd effectively be giving yourself like frequent vacations from real-time stuff. You would probably age right before people's eyes, though. You would age so quickly. It would look really weird and be really concerning. People would legitimately wonder if you're, like, human. Although, unlike a lot of other things, I would have no problems explaining it. I would just be like, yeah, I can freeze time. Get wrecked. I was roaming in Space Valk 3. Just found that there was certain things missing to your complete build. Those mini games, the railway, metro lines. Yeah. Space Valk 3 didn't get too much farther than the disc. I built the city in single player because it wasn't possible to build it on 2B any longer. So I had to start over, basically. And I was like, yeah, I'm going to do this. Entire server lag, DC'd, yep, and they'd log in dead. You better believe that, Ani. You better believe that's what would happen. They'd get the pop bob treatment. I mean, incomplete, not missing. Right. Because Space Valk 3 was incomplete when it was griefed by the nerds, and later on it was griefed. What was their name? What group was that? Oh shit. I forget what group that was that griefed Space Valk 3, the second site, on 2B2T. But they did it in like February 2021-ish. Jesus fucking Christ, I don't know where I am. Let me go. Want to land right there. Is there a name for this build beside Jack Rooms 2? Yes. It is named Archon Retia. Okay. Oh, so that's supposed to be bent upward. Okay. Cooking the pizza. Okay. No idea why you're cooking the pizza, but all right. Well, I do know you want food. Yes, the alternative name is Space Value 18. Ha. Very funny. Space Value reference. Very funny. Very classy. Is it me, or are rockets carrying me on longer than they should be? But it's only like a fraction of a second or two longer. There was a stream when a dude named Toodles dropped his pizza. It was so mad. Oh, it was so sad, yeah. Saw a documentary video where you redid a part of the vase because some blocks were off, like the alignment was wrong. Yes, that was Space Valk 3. Correct me if I'm wrong. Crazy dedication? Oh, go big or go home. Right. Yeah, I can show you where that was. And what was wrong precisely. And why it needed to be corrected. But I'll save that for the end of the stream, so remind me, Ember. Why is Quartz such a secret? Oh no! Why are Quartz secret? But in Oni's vid, they made it seem like it was worse than leaking your real-life address. I mean, do you want something you are currently doing to just be suddenly and what's the word I'm trying to look for? Do you want to have your shit just destroyed? Just for no reason. Other than that someone else was feeling particularly mean. Like, yes, it will eventually get griefed, but that doesn't mean that has to be today. There is a difference between having your work interrupted and someone coming along and just being an annoyance. Like, you should respect other people's stuff. Like, that's the general idea. Now, obviously, most people don't subscribe to that idea. But I try to. Imagine if the height limit was 30 million. Holy crap. Yeah, I would love that. I would love a height of several million. If they could somehow compartmentalize the way chunks generate upward, yeah, absolutely. First stream after watching VODs for a week. Well, thank you, Andrew. I appreciate you watching VODs and other things. Hey, 3X Dragon. I'm building this new project. Yes, you more or less guessed it. The yellow stuff is stuff that has yet to be put in place. The red is technically wrong. Orange means that it's in the wrong orientation, but I'm not going to obsess over some of that. Yellow is absent. Red is technically incorrect. Oh, this is a regular Blackstone slab. Okay, so these are technically wrong, but that's just where I got incorrect stuff on the schematic. Same for up here. These are regular Blackstone stairs. The schematic, because I did a replace all command with World Edit, these got turned to polished stairs, polished Blackstone. And I was like, no, these should be regular Blackstone stairs to sort of form a slope of the building shape. So like that's there on purpose, more or less. Like these are supposed to be Blackstone and not polished Blackstone because it's outside this blue lapis frame. And then anything inside it is inside the base. And so that should all be polished Blackstone. At least that's the going theme. Okay, so like right here. Thank you. You're very welcome, Andrew. The lightning tactic used to find Space Valk was insane. No, that was not lightning. That was tell at A. That was a completely different exploit. Lightning was a few years earlier. That was like only bases in the overworld. Space Valk was in the end. If the height limit was 30 mil, it might be legitimately it would take you a decade to find bases. Yeah. Good. I would love that. I don't want you to just get any old fucking base. Like, if a chunk has been generated, and you know people have been there, but you may have a millions of blocks flight upward, directly upward, just to get to them. Good. Serves you right. You shouldn't be able to find bases, at least not without a fuck ton of work. And from what I've seen, most base finding is very, very straightforward and easy. It's almost AFKable. Like, someone could write a very sophisticated bot that would just find stuff through the standard base hunting tactics, and it would probably work. Maybe not foolproof, but it would certainly be revolutionary. And you know, I don't like that. You shouldn't be able to get a base easily. Finding a base should be like monumental. And I'm well aware that most people just base hunt. Like, that seems to be the standard going fare. I'm talking about December 2023, complete build file which you shared during the trailer release. Oh, you may be mixing that up with something else then. Why do people build less than 5 mil out? Because convenience. I'm sure there are many other reasons too. It's often easier to get to your base too. But going 5 mil out isn't going to make it any harder or more troublesome to track you. How long do you think you have realistically until someone finds the base? I genuinely don't know. Couldn't tell you. Is this Jack hot take episode? Yeah, I guess. If you think that base finding exists, if you think that base finding should exist, as in base tracking, I don't think it should exist simply because it is kind of troublesome to the natural way of the server. You should probably be finding where bases are through inciting, sleuthing, getting into a group. Like, it shouldn't be, I followed your chunk trail, I have a map that could literally figure out where you went. Like, no, you shouldn't be able to do that. Back in the day, no one could do that. And it made 2B2T so much more magical. And see, this is why that shouldn't exist. It ruins the magic of 2B2T. Because you will more or less just know if something cool is out there, you'll find it. Instead of getting lucky or only hearing about it in myth. I miss Alpha Computer voice chat streams. He doesn't want to ever go back on stream again. That's his choice. I respect that. By the end of the year, I'll be running 5+ headless accounts off Discord. AI bot swarms coming to an old server near you. Oh, God. So is that to, figure out where people are, or is that something else? The trail finding is adorable, not checking the portal skips. Theoretically, people could program bots to fly grid, though. True. But if you add an absurd height to the mix, now suddenly you can't do that. Suddenly trailing people is unimaginably more difficult. And it adds to the mystery and the mystical feel of the server. Not knowing where something is, not knowing what something is. We just sort of, that's why Imp Space was so famous. That's why the Lands was so famous. These were bases you couldn't just go to. They were prohibitively far. It was getting to them that was the problem, even if you had cords. You couldn't walk on the nether roof anymore. Stupid fucking zombie. Yeah, getting to bases should be prohibitively difficult again. it would restore a lot of the magic and mystery to how the server functions. Through Tristaning, yeah. How's it that you can stream what you're doing without worrying people showing up where I am? Various safety measures, I guess. And also I'm banking on nothing because I don't know. I don't know how people find bases anymore. Only pixel, okay. With how many 2PGT 30 mil is safe as 5 mil in 2015? We're talking upward, not outward. Because as it stands right now, the ability for you to build upward ends about like right here. Like right at this spot where I am. That you can't build any higher than this. But if you could build up for millions... You were just talking about that the other day in Ranch's stream? Oh, what was? I'd like to believe there's still a handful of TP2 bases that haven't been discovered. I hope. But you can never know. With how many on 2BG's 30 mil, or sorry, read that. I'm sure the rail network was incomplete in certain places, not at all. I'm wondering now if I uploaded the wrong... Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm not sure if I uploaded the correct file then. I don't know what to tell you. I know that it's on the archive, so if you're really like worried about it, Deval, you can go on to the archive and just download it from the archive. You'll need world tools to be able to download anything from the archive. But you could theoretically do it. It was so rewarding to find a base back in the day. Now it's way too easy. Exactly. Exactly. It should be earned or stumbled upon by magic. Yes, exactly. And that's what I'm saying. A millions, 30 million outward, 30 million upward level of build height would make the finding of a base way, way harder. And that would be a good thing. At least I feel that it would be. I feel like it would make you really want... See, that's the other thing, too. People prefer to go base hunting. Back in the day, you would only go and make your own little whatever. And if you played, then you played more. And if you didn't, you quit. And it's entirely because you can go and base hunt. That doesn't incentivize people to make stuff anymore. Not like it used to have to. Oh my god, place. There we go. Being able to just get a base because, oh, I followed the steps. Like, man. You didn't really earn it, in my opinion. And that's the other thing, too. Finding a base through all the means of which a base can be found. It doesn't feel earned. It just feels kind of like an inevitability, like an extension of an algorithm. Though they may not have had the foresight to do that back in the day. I don't know. Imagine a lava cast and spawn from... Oh man, with that world height, that would be majestic, dude. Longest, largest lava cast in the universe. Guinness Book of World Records. Oh, bye. Don't come back. Yeah, it would certainly be something. Oh, and also, speaking of placing stairs and doing things that are majestic, I was building on Onipixel's stream. Those of you who saw it, or in the video, it was in his video as well. I was building somewhere in here. I just wanted to officially clarify I fixed it. Wherever the mistake was. I think it was over in here. But it could have also been over in here. And, yeah. Like, if I mess up, don't be afraid to tell me. I'm only human. Now imagine if you could go any direction up or down for over 1 trillion blocks, how there was a 4th dimension where 1 block equals 100 blocks in the nether. I don't think we need a 4th dimension. But I could definitely see the nether being 1 block in the nether in any direction, up, down, you know, back, forward, left, right, is 8 blocks in the overworld. I could definitely see that being the really, really fast method of getting intense height. Because as it stands, your ability to do nether travel is only a horizontal phenomenon. If we added, you know, 30 million blocks of height, then you could turn the nether into a way of getting that much needed height increase. You know, getting from point A to point B. I'll do in here later. Oh, hell. There we go. What am I planning on building inside? Okay, so 2 weeks ago, I did a stream on a game called Black Shard. Black Shard is a liminal walking simulator that is more or less this crazy eldritch, outlandish, alien, extra-dimensional space. I hope I have said enough buzzwords to catch your attention. And Black Shard was just so majestic in how it was put together. And it really, like, popped with me. And so I was like, hell yes. I need to do something like this on 2B2T. And so that's more or less the plan. It'll be my own thing, of course, but damn it. I think it'll be fun. Any plans for the inside? Yes. Lots and lots and lots of plans. This upper area, basically everything from ground level up, will be a mixture of weird liminal spaces, some living quarters like this. I'm probably going to make more Japanese-styled rooms. Probably I will leave the Japanese-styled room stuff to the uppermost layers. And then down in here will be crazy, unexpected stuff like this. Oh yeah, I completed the stairs. I finished them. See what it looks like without Fulbright. I got to put more beacon stuff there. Yeah, that's more or less it. And I'll do other crazy stuff like that. Have rooms and again, it's going to be very heavily inspired by Black Shard. So go look at Black Shard if you want to know. It's all one word. And yeah, I think it'll be pretty cool. Jack, would you want 2B2T to have a custom world gen? We already have custom world gen. Like, the seed and the way the world generates is completely different from vanilla now. This is so that people can't reverse engineer where you are. At least we believe that to be the case. I don't know if it'll stay that way. We could be wrong. Maybe there is a way to engineer where people are. But that was the reasoning for changing the way the seed works, the seed itself, and the algorithm that generates it. So it's all totally new. At least we hope. Damn it. You could automatically put any image into a map art. automatically, what images would I put into the server? I saved a bunch of really cool space pictures and some nice landscapes years ago that I intended to put in SpaceValk 3, because you can edit .data files inside the Minecraft saves folder and insert any image you want into a map art, and using map art craft. And so I did that. I did a few paintings in SpaceValk 3 that were that way, and so I guess I would just make those. I would probably also go ahead and make my Escape the Jack Rooms 2 power cards. Although, I don't know, we don't really have much designed for that yet. Oh, hey, thank you for subscribing. I appreciate that, man. But yes, I would probably go ahead and make that. But then we don't have plans for, like, how that would function yet. So I don't know. I don't know if I could actually make those power cards in advance. I like to make those after the fact. I don't know. We'll see. Are there still big groups? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, Pharaoh. There are a million big groups. Are you kidding me? Too many big groups to keep track of. Like, I'm just one person. I cannot possibly know what every single one of these groups is doing. There's too much info, man. Seed is all random? Yeah, as far as I'm aware. We don't know anything about how the seed changed or how the terrain generation algorithm changed. So we just know it was different. It was changed in 1.19, and that's the end of it. So until someone figures out what it is or brute forces it or whatever, you're just going to not have to know. Amplified would be neat. But I also like not amplified terrain. Like, that whole vista right there would be completely... Like, this would not look this way. There would be no, you know, open, flat, grassy fields. Like, amplified is neat, but I don't know that I would want that to be the standard. I think I would want, like, two versions. 2B2T that's amplified and 2B2T that's not. I don't know. We'll see. Oh, good night. Okay, take care, King Cheetah. You have a good one, man. Okay, so that's how you can stream without people finding me. Supposedly. We'll see. Biggest 2B2T disappointment. Ooh. Being found and griefed so quickly into SpaceValk 3 or 1's lifespan. I mentioned last week that last week was the 10-year anniversary of the start of SpaceValk 3. Or sorry, SpaceValk 1. And that base did not last 3 months. For all the effort and time I poured and you know, the beauty that came out of SpaceValk 1, it just didn't last. It wasn't allowed to, really. And a really nasty exploit came about that just killed it. Hey, Dokiman. Is it me, or do you feel like the 2B2 community is dying despite the server being active? Or are you getting worn out? You're getting worn out. The 2B2T community has 717 players online. A lot of these are newer players. They're just not folded into the general goings-on, you know? They're not people you know. And I admit, not being able to tell who anyone is when you open the tab list is very detrimental. But you can't do anything about that. It's out of your control. So while I would absolutely love to know who is who, it just isn't really... It's just not doable like it used to be. Maybe someday it'll thin out a little bit more and you'll actually be able to bond with people. Because that's really everybody's big gripe. It doesn't feel like you can bond with others. We yearn for a relatable tab list. Yeah, or readable tab list, I mean. Yeah. And I don't blame you for yearning for a readable tab list. I too yearn for the days in which I could see who was online and who wasn't at a glance. But we don't have that, and we may not ever have that ever again. Who knows? And you know, if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. I don't know what to tell you. Amplified as its own sub-biome would be cool. Maybe if you could get a taste of Amplified here or there. But, I don't know. Community is disenfranchising in some way? No, community is fun. You like meeting up with fellow crazy people. Seeing what they got going on, seeing what they think. I don't know. I mostly just want 121 at the moment. I'm not really thinking too far beyond that. I try to take every day one day at a time, so, you know. Config issue? What do you mean? What config issue of what? Honestly, I feel like whether or not your base gets found is mostly up to luck. Exactly. There are a lot of things that will inevitably be out of your control. So, are building massive pink wool dicks the only thing on creative servers? Probably. Likely simply because people don't have any class when it comes to griefing. Like, if you're going to grief people, shit. Change it in a subtle way they don't see coming. Especially if it's a creative mode server. Just do something people aren't expecting. Jack, what if your mind got erased? What's the biggest lesson and the only one you would retain from everything that I've learned on 2B2T? Oh god. If my mind got erased? Holy shit. Ooh. Distance respawn is hardly relevant anymore. What matters is how well hidden the base is. Yeah. I guess that's the lesson. But, like... I've learned a lot through 2B2T over the years. I guess to be persistent, to be tenacious and never give up, that would be the one lesson that I think I would want to retain despite having my, quote, mind erased. That would suck, but I would try to bounce and go along with it. Bounce back and do whatever. Do most people have several stashes throughout the server, or do you just restart from scratch if you get found? That's what my plan is. But most people do have several stashes. So we'll see. But 9,999 people did not join before 2016, June 1st. Yeah. I'm well aware. I have my dubs of tridents. That's about it. Damn. Well, you need to get on that grind, Elmo. You need to make items. You need to farm shit. You need to figure out how to, you know, create for yourself a legacy. Fuck that, I just steal things. Okay, sure, whatever. If you're a stealing type person, sure. I understand, I can respect that. 2BG chat is full of snowflakes now. It's like they forgot what the server... Yeah, exactly. Those snowflakes are also likely trolling you a bit. Because they know that being a snowflake is, in and of itself, a form of trolling. They're probably of the opinion that, yeah, people will get upset if I say this. And they know it's kind of being counterculture-y. I don't know, it's weird. Am I close to the world border? Not hardly, no. The world border is many millions of blocks in some direction from here, I don't know. It could be anywhere. It could even be at your mom's house. Yeah. I think it's for playing a long time without considerable breaks. Thanks for answering your question. Okay. Yeah, you should probably take breaks regularly. Think House will ever crash out like Phantom did? Ooh. Phantom was always doing the moderation and adminning of Constantium for free and spending a ton of money in the process. As for House, he makes, and whatever group or company runs 2B2T, they make way too much money to worry about putting up with it. You know, they'll put up with it if it makes them $1 million more within the next 5 years. Hell, within the next 5 months even. They'll happily put up with the shenanigans of the 2B2T community. So, like, yeah. There's no real reason for them to have such a crash out, you know? And even if, like, someone involved with the running of 2B2T was like, oh man, I can't stand this anymore, I'm out. Give me a severance package of some kind, I'm gone. They'll just fill in the hole with a new hire or whoever. I'm still holding your quartz box hostage. No, I don't really care. That quartz box doesn't matter. You can own it, Elmo. I give you permission. You're surprised I don't have stashes? Well, the problem with having a stash, Pharaoh, is that you had to have played considerably long. And I took a 3-year break starting during COVID. And so because I quit from 2020 to mid-2023, anything I had, even remotely resembling a stash, was found. So when you say, oh, well, why don't you have a stash? Well, the answer is I neglected everything. I gave up on the server, expecting it to never update again. And while I was proven wrong, and I was very happy to be proven wrong, the price of that was I stopped caring, and anything and everything I had was already long gone by the time I came back. So, ultimately, it's whatever. I'm not really concerned, you know? I like making stuff, and if somebody can give me items and I can make stuff, good enough for me. Now, if a dupe come out tomorrow, I would probably run off somewhere. I would say, okay, I'm taking a however long the dupe lasts, content creation hiatus, and I'm going to go out to the hinterlands of 2B2T, and I'm going to dupe. And I'm going to make a bunch of stashes and go from there. And I assume all of you would also do the same. And I'd just be like, okay, you know, I'm back in black. Back in black. I don't have the singer from AC/DC's voice, but, you know. Just imagine that the song by AC/DC was playing in your head. Every screenshot of GPT was placed on your computer from 2011 to 2025 in date of order, and your computer had endless storage. What would I do with that info? I don't know what I would do with it. It would depend entirely upon what those screenshots consist of. But I would be curious to see how much data that is. Obviously, we have an infinite amount of data in this hypothetical, but I would love to know how many thousands and thousands of terabytes of screenshots would be collectively achievable. I would probably make several videos on the really nostalgic old stuff, like older bases, older groups, different players in different situations. Like, I would probably just from that alone, I would be like, okay, what's going on here? Oh my God, let's go down memory lane. Oh my God, I remember this. Some of that stuff would really it would really slap. Did I cover my trails? I think. I mean, to the best of my ability. True that. I bet many are trolls, but it's probably over half being very anti-2B2T-like. Yeah, probably. There's no way 350 people are doing the same thing just fine. I'm pretty sure it's just the fact that everybody is on a different wavelength, and for whatever in the moment people are doing or saying, they'll take a stance and then decide. But that people are quite malleable in what they think and feel sometimes. I wonder how often someone from the early 2010s logs in and be like, what the fuck happened? I guarantee you no one from 2010, 2011, 2012. I guarantee you none of those people play in any meaningful way except for literally 3 or 4. And that's it. Everyone else from that time period would take one look at that tab list, or would take one look at the join, or the queue even. The hair on the back of their neck would stand on end, and they'd right out the door. They're not going to bother. They're never coming back for one simple reason. They're not getting in the front door. Because it takes 5 hours to reasonably wait through the queue. And that's if it were like, I don't want to know what the queue is. Like, I don't want to think about that. Oh, god damn it, it's still so high. Wait. Ah, shit. Okay. Turn on full bright so that I can see more readily. Down, up, down, fuck. Up, down, up. Wait, maybe I should just pillar like this and get all of them done this way. Wait, maybe this is the efficiency I was lacking and desperately in need of. Fuck. Okay, so I've got to learn to alternate my placement a little. Like a game of hopscotch. Ah, fuck. Messed up. Wait, or did I? Let's check it against the schematic. Okay. Yeah, ignore the bits of orange there. That's just it saying that that's stairs in the wrong orientation, but it's actually correct. Said a few times, a dupe fixes 2B2T, dramatically reduces hunting culture, which reduces strain on the server from one chunk loading of 400 hunters flying around at once. Really? Well now, if a dupe comes out tomorrow, does not every hunter instantly decide, you know, while duping and making my own stash is a good idea, I should totally go hunt other people's stashes too. Oh, son of a bitch, I've messed up. Because, like, you just know, oh yeah, there was a dupe recently. So I should absolutely go out and start hunting again. Because I know that there are likely to be many stashes now. Did you see 15 people die to one dude at the same time? What, just now? Or was that a while ago? I don't think I was paying enough attention, I'm sorry. Hell yes. Okay, and then scroll up a little. Jim Neutron? Was that Jim Neutron? Damn, Jim Neutron's on... James Neutron is on a fucking roll. Jimothy Neutron. I gotta make a pool for this water to collect in so that it doesn't just pile out here and look like shit. Longer than is allowed, slow as fuck again. Aw. Okay, well, still. Like I said, that queue will turn off more people than anything else ever could. No amount of tell-at-A's, no comms, randars, no amount of that shit will turn people off faster than the fucking queue itself. Nope. Messed up. You know, I kind of like it with a gap in the middle here. I don't know. Maybe it's too much effort. Maybe I should just keep doing what I'm doing. Because I'd have to go and correct all of those if I changed my mind. How many times did I fall into the void when building Space Falcon? One. maybe twice. I was very good at staying on because I had a fly exploit that would prevent me from falling into the void. Because back in those days, if you tried to fly using an old, you know, it was a type of fly back in the day, and this was like one of the first fly exploits ever. The way it would work is it would tell the ground, or tell the game that your feet are no longer on the ground. And then it would try to let you move around. And that would kind of work. It worked with Elytra back when Elytra were first introduced, so you could fly with Elytra really, really, really efficiently. But that, by and large, that old style fly, especially by 2015, if you activated it, all it would do is rubber band you on top of what you fell off of. And so if I did that over the void, it would just rubber band me back onto what I fell off of. So we didn't have Elytra yet, obviously. Because, you know, 10 years ago was early 2015. You know, that was just not a thing yet. So as a result, when I was building or bridging over the void, I just made sure to turn on my fly. Or no, sorry, it was glide. My bad. I would use the glide hack. And if you didn't set up the glide hack properly, it would rubber band you. Again, back on top of whatever it was you'd fallen off of. So it was no trouble to just glide back onto safety, or use glide, and then when I fall, instead of gliding all the way down into the void, it would rubber band me back on top of where I fell. And I was good. And so in that way, I never had to worry about falling to my death. Unless I got really, 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 really careless. And I remember I was trying to use an alt. And I had 2 instances of Minecraft opened at once. And I turned on auto walk. And it auto walked both my tabbed out instance and my alt. And so I auto walked myself into the void. And then the other time I fell into the void, and remember, I only fell in like twice. I was riding along on a minecart with a horse. Because I wanted horses at Space Valk 1. Because, you know, I wanted everything at Space Valk 1. And I ended up having some sort of weird internet hiccup. And so the net shat itself for like 10 seconds, 20 seconds. Wasn't very long, but long enough to boot me from 2B2T. And I logged back in, and I fell off the horse. And for some reason, the horse was still in the minecart. I had a rail going from the mainland to Space Valk 1. And by the time I logged back in, I was nowhere to be found. I was above the void. The cart and the horse were nowhere to be found. And so I went right into the void. And I was like, what the fuck? Because I was under the impression that if you log out, whatever you're writing logs out with you. But for some reason, the horse was stuck in the minecart, and I was the only thing that vanished. So, that was fucky. What's with the glasses and the green shell? Set dressing. Also, I'm wearing my regal shelmet. Doesn't it look neat? I love turtle shells. I don't wear my turtle shell enough. It's the reason why I haven't logged on since 2018. Damn. Yeah, I guess that's a fair reason, J-Money. Do I have a screen cap of House saying Space Valk 1 looked like it was on the spectrum? He never said that about Space Valk 1. He said that about the Sky Temple of Autism. The Sky Temple of Autism was the place that he logged in at, or teleported to me at, and was like, this place is so autistic. And then he spawned in a horse, ran into the sunset, jumped off the horse when he thought he was far enough away from us, killed the horse, and then killed himself and dropped the horse spawn egg, which I could not keep, sadly. But damn, it was so cool to see that horse spawn egg for like the 20 minutes I had it. Horsemeister's egg. If you could control the active amount of players online, how many players would I allow? So between 0 and the entire population of Earth. Good God. Let's try going back to like 100. 50 to 100. The tab list would still be absurdly large, but it wouldn't be so large you couldn't, like, keep track of people, you know? Because it's so large right now, you can't possibly keep track of everyone. There are just too many people. I think that would do it. For now. I would definitely try to prevent bots, because bots are a problem. Zenith proxy type stuff, even though I admit I am fully and directly benefiting from a Zenith proxy bot right this minute, I do accept that they are a bit of a cancer and is probably a bit too... It's too much. I would probably say something to the effect of every IP range can only be allowed one account. Or something reasonable, you know, to where you can't have a million Zenith proxy bots on at once. I don't know. When was the last time I visited the world border? I never went to the world border. I've never been to any world border ever, because what's the fucking point? Why do I need to go to the world border? What's there? Is the world border going to give me a blowjob? Am I going to find Tristan and Pyro secretly living there? And be like, oh my god, you didn't actually leave the server after all. Like, there's no value in that. Shiny wall, yeah, exactly. People are all like, ooh, shiny. I gotta go there. I gotta spend 70-something hours just continually AFKing my way to the world border. Actually, it's probably more like 100-and-something hours, but still. Oh, that's why you called him Horsemeister. Yeah, exactly. Because he had a horse. And an egg. An egg that birthed a horse. When can you give us a tour? Oh, a spawn tour? Why do you need a spawn tour? What the fuck is at spawn that's worth going to? When do you think 121 will be out? Soon. TM. No, I'm hoping it'll be within the next 2 to 3 days. That's somewhat reasonable, I think. Not that that's a guarantee of anything, but I feel in my bones it'll be the next few days. Bubba J gassed? Lamau! I know, right? I said blowjob. It's such a funny word. Ha 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 ha. Okay, but what if the world border did give you a blowjob? Well, if the world border could blow me, then is it worth it going all that way? I don't think it is, in all honesty. I don't know, we'll see. Maybe. We'll see. I griefed the Z Plus border and like 100 people were crying about it in your DMs. In what way? Was there like a town there? People should know better than to build a fucking town at a border area or a border station or whatever. I traveled to 2 of them, X positive and Z positive, but I got to make YouTube videos on them. Cool. I'll say this. I remember following Burnsy's little Imgur album that he made years and years ago when they were first going to the X-positive world border. And I just remember following that and going, wow, that's really fucking cool. Wow, that's actually kind of historic. And then hearing about every other subsequent effort and being like, damn, that's kind of boring, actually. No, wait, no, that's been done. It's not that special. I'm sorry, but who gives a shit? And well, if every single highway does not go to like 30 million already. If every major you know, diagonal and cardinal highway does not already take you to a world border, then what the hell is the highway union up to? I feel like they are asleep at the switch, but I don't know that. The motor extension gurus, those people. I've done all overworld and end borders, only done one nether border. Damn. Hello, Jalen. Am I on 2B2T? Yes. Yes, I am. I'm on 200 builders, 200 tools. Or sorry, I'm on 701 builders, 701 tools right now as we speak. Come on. Fuck. Yes, 702. Thank you. 705. Sorry, HC, you're wrong. It's 705 now. I gotta wonder what House is doing differently, that hundreds more players are online than like a year ago. A year ago we were in the 300 to 400 range. Now we're double that. What is going on? It's not even really like because of a holiday, I don't think. I mean, it could be, but I don't know. Surely Onipixel himself by himself couldn't possibly have attracted that many more newer players. You were right there for a second. That's true. That's very true. You had a second of accuracy. I appreciate that. You were trying. Fent rather than Coke. Yes, he's so desensitized to cocaine that he had to switch to fentanyl. Good point. Come on. Fuck. Place. There we go. They're all dug. Oh, really? All the borders are dug all the way, all the cardinals, all the diagonals, they're all dug to the world border? What about the netherworld border, huh? Eh? He switched the server box to use milk as a liquid coolant. What? I want to get into GPT, but I don't know if I'll be able to find it fun. After all, it's just Minecraft. It's Minecraft with a slight twist. And that is, it's not just about the blocks. Though it is sometimes about blocks. There is something of a chess game going on in the background, kind of. It's really more about the wonders and the crazy things you'll find. Oh, the places you will go. Oh my god. Oh, I had a brilliant idea just now. I need to do an Oh, the places you will go parody of 2B2T. I need to fucking do that. People were mad because it was an intact border with a base. I mean, they have every right to get ass mad, but surely they didn't think it would be the only border with a base for very long, right? But it's the only border with a base. You do realize Point Nemo lasted for less than a day, right? Like, surely those people understand that, you know, shit goes sideways. Come on now. Depends on what you're looking for, Jalen. Yeah, it depends on what type of experience you're hoping to find. It just is what you could reasonably, you know, achieve with your own manpower, your own luck. You know, that'll be the kind of experience you get. Maybe you'll travel to distant worlds and distant borders. I don't know. I mean, like, in 2BGT, what do you grind for? You're not a builder. If you're not a builder and you don't want to build, suppose you can, like, try to base hunt. People love base hunting. You can crystal PvP at spawn. You can try to kind of learn history and turn into a bit of a historian, I guess. Oh, shit. No, my precious stair. Oh, well. What you build one day will be gone. Yeah, that's true. What we do is not always going to be around. What is the poem? Is it by Mary Shelley or is it by somebody else? It's Ozymandias. Like, I get the feeling that Ozymandias is just like 2B2T is Ozymandias personified. Like it's the real world version of that. Well, I say real, but you know, it's in Minecraft, but like, you get the idea. Percy Shelley. Fuck. Okay, can you blame me? They had the same last name. I hear Shelley and I think Mary Shelley Frankenstein. I can't hear Shelley any other way. There's just some names that are associated permanently in my brain with exactly one thing. And anyone else that has that is instantly associated by accident. There we go. Yeah, play 2D with the mindset that you know you're gonna be what you're signing up for. Right? Yeah, you don't want to get into it and feel like you regretted spending your time doing X, Y, Z and being all like, "This wasn't what I signed up for." Uh-oh. This lag isn't what I signed up for. Holy, okay. Connection's still good. Hopefully it won't shit itself inside out. If it does, I'll probably have to call it there. Although actually now that I think about it, it's 10, so I may end up having to call it here anyway. We'll see. We all mostly fish, yeah. Come on. Place blocks. It was ran by Kek1. Damn. That guy's still around? If you weren't a builder, what would I be doing? Probably shit posting in chat. Hanging out at spawn. Just kind of seeing what other bases people are making. I feel like if I wasn't a builder, I would still be interested in what people could create. So maybe I would just be like a guy who hangs around and does nothing. And I just like get into all the cool places and just enjoy the vibe. I don't know. If you join for the experience of finding historical things by people who get... Yeah. That's something people love doing, is traveling to far out monuments and interesting sort of relics of the past. Trying to relive the past, in a way. Hello, Andre. Welcome. Not really, but really. Leave a sign at a freshly abandoned base? I guess. I feel like that is something I would probably do. I'd be going around leaving probably... I would be spreading Cody smile signs. Just for the fun of it, because I know it pisses people off. But obviously, as it is right now, I have better things to do with my time. Also, where the hell did that... There it is. 900 ping. I don't like that. I don't like it, Mr. Frodo. Come on. Come on. Come on, do your thing. Okay. Every time it lags, I get concerned that it's my internet. I just want to make it up to the top. I'm almost there. It's almost 10 for you. Yeah, I know, Mr. Queen. I'm probably going to shut off here shortly. Here's hoping. Okay, you can't see it, but I am getting, because my overlay bar is like in the way. But like I got 2,891 ping. It's giving me the server not responding bullshit. I placed a stair block and it didn't decrement the stack. And that worries the hell out of me. Find new pals at spawn and become friends and build a base together. Yep. Cody littered Pop Bob's Mesa biome base with his signs as untouched as of last year. Ooh, you shouldn't have said that. Now it won't be. Now it will be gone. Excited for the Pale Oak Wood. Yes. I've got so many, and while I'm still on the fucking server. Ah! Well. So much for that. Anyway, I've got so many Pale Oak doors that I'm going to need to craft when we get, you know, all the stuff. I want to put those doors in their place. But, yeah. Okay, so is anybody else, like... Oh, yeah, no, it is dead. Well. Huh. Oh, well. Will I write a 2B2T history book? Maybe. Nah, I'm not lagging. Well, lucky for you, Murphy. What's the most depressing time on 2B2T? When I felt like there was no hope for the server in 2016. That was the most depressing time. Because the nerds owned and ran everything. And it felt like there was no anything.